right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Jess, and thank you for sticking around for the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. I'll be joined by Chris Mueller in a matter of moments. And there he is, over to 93.7 The Fan Cam, and we're taking your calls tonight at 412-575-2600 is the number. We definitely have a lot to talk about. We'll get to the Steelers and what they're going to do with their initial 53-man roster, the practice squad guys that they brought back. But, hey, the big news today, Chris, that just happened, Bubba Chandler, 4 innings. He had, 7 pitches at 100+, 22 pitches at 99+. The guys pitched 8 scoreless innings so far in 2 outings. And you have to go back a long way before you have a rookie pitcher that gets a save and a win in their first 2 games. Why hasn't he been here sooner?
That is the million-dollar question. Why wasn't he here when the season maybe was still in the balance, or there were just enough games where the Pirates could have made up time and made a run? It seems a little bit obvious to me that part of his struggles in AAA that they used to justify keeping him down were a byproduct of him being pretty bored at AAA and frustrated that they hadn't yet promoted him. So I do think there's some cause to second-guess them there. What becomes kind of interesting here the rest of the way is, does their approach with him so far get validated? Not to have him start right away, to have him pitch bulk relief, since that's what they called it, and to have gotten 2 really spectacular outings out of it. I mean, he's been terrific in both of his appearances. He hit a batter tonight, he walked a batter tonight, but other than that, the control, which was such an issue for the last month and a half or so for him in AAA, Rich, has really been pretty good, or at least good enough to not be racking up walks, and he still maintained strikeout stuff. He's still throwing it unbelievably hard. We'll see. I'd be really interested, I guess, in how they decide to handle him the last month of the season, Rich, because you figure they don't want him going much past, I think he was at 119 innings last year. I think he's at, 108, I'm guessing right now, based off of what I remember reading. Does he get 3, 4 more appearances, 5 more appearances? They let him start a couple of games. I'm very intrigued by how they're going to handle September for a guy that so far has been as advertised in 2 appearances.
He can't go over, 50 innings? Or he loses his rookie status too? I know there's an innings thing with that.
I don't think I don't think they're going to get anywhere near that. I don't think they're going to go anywhere in that direction at all with him. They're very cautious about these innings counts. I mean, I want to see what they do if they have him go and start games and only plan on pitching 3 to 4 innings. Hey, don't worry about the win, kid. You already got one of those. We just want you to actually start the game. I thought that they were making a mistake doing this because they were messing with his routine. He's used to being a starter. Now he comes out of the bullpen. There was some thought that their bullpen coach was sort of a pitcher whisperer a little bit, and that getting Bubba Chandler in that setting might actually help him. Well, so far it has. I'm really curious as to see how the Pirates are going to make the next steps with Bubba Chandler this year to build whatever foundation they want for 2026.
Well, that brings us to our Penn West University live poll question. Just scan that QR code in the right-hand corner of your screen. Should the Pirates have called up Bubba Chandler earlier? We both think so, and you can see that 79% of our viewers right now also think the same way. And your counterpart, Andrew Filipponi, put out a tweet a little while ago saying, look at the 2026 starting rotation. Skeens, Chandler, Ashcraft, Keller, Burrows, and that doesn't even include Oviedo and Barco and potentially Jared Jones up here too. But the problem is they don't have a lineup. What's going to be their 2026 lineup? That's the issue right now. It's not the pitching. But I would like to see what this rotation could do if that's it for 2026.
My counterpart, Andrew Filipponi, put that tweet up and was immediately ripped by 17 different people saying he was jinxing the 2026 Pirates long before they played a game. Can't necessarily say I disagree. Not positive Mitch Keller will be part of that rotation. They might attempt, especially if he has a strong September, and maybe erases some of those second-half Mitch Keller worries that are well-founded at this point in his career. I think they could use him and dangle him as trade bait to try to get a major league bat from somebody this offseason. But, I mean, this will continue to be not a tragedy. It's not the right word. This will continue to be sort of a disgrace if they do accumulate this many quality starting arms and are unable to surround it with any kind of hitting because they are either unwilling to make bold trades or because they are unwilling to sign anything resembling competitive free agent contracts to players who can actually move the needle. If you waste any more of Paul Skeens' tenure, if you waste a Skeens-Bubba Chandler rotation, then you are really doing yourselves, and especially the people who pay money to see you, a disservice.
Yeah, what do you think you have with Skeens? 3 years max? Unless you can figure out something?
3 more years, probably 3 NL Cy Youngs. I mean, he might win 4 Cy Youngs here. That's not an exaggeration. He might win 4 in a row. If he doesn't get hurt, he's absolutely that good. I know Zach Wheeler was having a phenomenal season, but he's historically great. In Chandler, you might have a guy that, because he's on Paul Skeens' team, would be a number 1 in, I'm just projecting here, optimistic viewpoint, would be a number 1 for 15 to 17 other teams, and is just going to be a number 2 here. And then you have so many quality arms to choose from, at least in theory, that you should be able to fill out 3, 4, 5 with a trio of pitchers that would make most other teams jealous. And man, that's a long way down the road to building what you need to win in Major League Baseball. But if you don't surround it with hitting, you're not going to probably win more than 80 games.
And I think Nutting and Cherington are going to be forced to add some free agents at some point, or you could potentially lose the fan base.
I think they've already lost a lot of people and frustrated a lot of people. But I think if you have Chandler up there next year, and you know what Skeens can do, and Chandler keeps, generating, I would say, optimism with the way he pitches to end this year, I think you're going to permanently sever more ties than you already have. There are some people who are probably just fed up and frustrated, but they'll come back. If they come back to a team next year that hasn't augmented their lineup at all, that's going to be DEFCON 1 for fan anger and frustration.
Well, this is our Xfinity tweet of the night from Baseball America. Pure filth from Bubba Chandler tonight. 4 innings, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 3 Ks. So pretty good night for Bubba Chandler. He has 8 innings pitched, no earned runs, so it's been pretty solid in 2 outings from Bubba Chandler in relief. At some point, I'd like to see him in starting rotation, maybe start a game and go 5 innings. We'll see what happens with that. I got a couple tweets here, Chris, and when we were talking about Bubba Chandler and the Pirates on Twitter, G-Master tweeted us and said, winning isn't part of the con. So we have a frustrated Pirates fan there. Phil Bananas said exactly the same, Richie Walsh. That's the reason why Pirates have been rebuilding for 40 years. Salary dump Reynolds and Keller. Start all over again next year. Yeah, after Cruz. Year after Cruz and Skeens will be gone. More cheap prospects that will never do anything for the next decade. I can't say I disagree with the way he's thinking right now. I think a lot of Pirates fans have come around to that same thinking.
They have more, though, at least potentially. I mean, we know what we have with Skeens here. We know exactly how good and great he is. So I kind of put him in a separate basket. But in the persons of Chandler, we're getting a little taste now, see what he's capable of. And then in Connor Griffin, which is the especially rare one because we know just how much difficulty this team has developing position prospects. They have a trio at the top, either here already or soon to be here, that is unlike many we've seen them have really in a long time, decades, if not longer than that. And so if Chandler is the real deal and Griffin is precocious and the real deal, and you don't try to strike while that iron's hot and you don't take steps to try to build around those guys for that 3-year window of time, where you have them all together, I mean, it's just, I would say that would be organizational malpractice. And they have, I don't even want to say Cherington has pressure on him this offseason because I don't know if he'll have a job. Bob Nutting, to whatever extent he is able to feel pressure beyond what he would already feel because so many people in this fan base are aggravated with him, I would say this is put up or shut up time this offseason. I would say you either do a bunch of things and you make a bunch of moves and you decide whether or not Ben Cherington's even going to be allowed to do these things or you're going to fire him that show that you're serious about winning, or really you just stop saying that you're urgently needing to do this, that, and the other thing because no one would have any cause to believe it at that point if you don't do things this offseason.
I don't know how anyone can go through life and be the most hated sports figure in any city, and that's going to be his legacy if he doesn't change.
I mean, Pony does the show with me every day, and that's pretty easy for him.
Yeah, I guess. I see your point here. Let's go out to the phone lines. We got Dave out in Swissville. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good, Rich. How you guys doing? Hey, I just was calling about Bubba. I agree with everything Chris said. But Bubba, we've seen him for a brief couple games here. He has looked great. He's a starter. We made him a bullpen guy. They always mess with guys. He's looked great, but the reality is I don't see it lasting. I hope it does. And as far as that goes, we're at the end of the year now, and the guys do need to spend money, but we'll see what happens.
You know, hey, Chris, he has this stuff. There's no doubt about it, and he's proven it at basically every level. I think he does. I think he's going to be successful. I'm not saying he's in Paul Skeen's category, but he's potentially better than Jared Jones. He has the stuff. There's no question about it. I think he's going to have success. At some point, he will be a starter for the Pirates.
He'll be a starter next year. I mean, it's not, we know this. He might start a game this year. He'll be a starter next year.
Yeah.
They're doing this to change things up because they felt like he needed it. So far, they've been validated in this approach. I mean, if he keeps pitching really well and giving them 4 innings at a time, then they're going to be validated. They just will be. They're going to make him a starter next year. In a perfect world, I know Jared Jones is going to miss a lot of time next year. In a perfect world, it goes Skeens 1, Chandler 2, Jones as a really dynamic 3, and then, man, you're putting some live arms behind him at 4 and 5, and you can really start to stack up some elite pitching. Chandler's not Skeens. He does not have the repertoire overall, the sheer variety that Skeens seems to be able to throw. I don't think anybody has Skeens' mind for pitching in baseball. I mean, there's great pitchers. Skeens feels like a much more amped up and powerful Greg Maddux out there as far as the total package. But that doesn't mean that Chandler can't be one of the 15 best or 10 best starters in all of baseball. I mean, the arm is electrifying there. And while it might have a little bit more wear on it than Skeens did because Skeens caught for so long before he converted to pitcher, and I think Chandler's been pitching for a while, you might get this guy for 4 or 5 years pretty much healthy and really dominant. And we've seen what 2 elite pitchers on one staff can do. You can win a World Series that way. Go ask the Diamondbacks in 2001. Like, the Pirates just need to surround them with an average offense, and they would be a playoff team next year.
You know, imagine facing a team with 3 guys that can throw 100+ straight. So it's pretty incredible for the Pirates to think that maybe could come to fruition here. Bill out in Greensburg, how you doing, Bill?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Okay, I have the stats right in front of me, gentlemen. 2013, the Pirates averaged almost 2.6 million fans. 2014, 2,520,000 fans. 2015, 2,300,000 fans. They averaged over 30,000 fans a game. So doesn't this owner is he that stupid not to realize, spend a little money, and 20, 30 million, you'll more than make up for that.
Hey, Bill, what are they averaging right now? Bill, do you have what they're averaging right now?
They're averaging 19,700. They're gonna end the season at 1,450,000.
So that's 1.3 or 4 million less.
They lost 1 million fans from those high years. I mean, they're not packing the park. They're keeping the place at most half full. I mean, in principle, I can understand why so many people hear what Bill just said there and are incredulous as to how somebody who would own the team would not realize it's the classic, if you build it being a contender, a competitive team, a team that is obviously purpose-built to try to make the playoffs, they'll show up. Baseball fans are a pretty forgiving lot, even in this town where they've been beaten down pretty good. The nature of the sport, I think, just makes it so that if you put a contender on the field, you'll reap the benefits in attendance. My God, look at the Padres, Rich. I mean, they just keep going for it year after year after year. And one of the reasons that they are able to sustain some of that payroll in a market that's not very big is that they sell the place out every night now because those people are happy because their team just constantly pushes their chips in and tries to go for it.
There's obviously a price tag on every person that attends a game, right? And if they're 1.4 million down right now, I mean, I don't know what that price tag is. What do you think it is? $40 a person, potentially an average of what they would make. So obviously they think it's not worth competing, and it's not worth having an extra 1.4 million that they're going to make money other ways. Because you don't have to pay, $40 million?
If you want to take it
If it's 40 million.
If you want to take it quite literally, Rich, if you added 1 million in attendance and you just spitballed and said, let's split the difference and said it's $30 a person per game, generally speaking.
That's 30 million.
Then you would theoretically have $30 million more to play with. And I think probably if I had to guesstimate the range of dollars in which people would like to see the Pirates spend more than they do already, it's probably around $30 to $40 million more. I think if they were in the 110 every year instead of 85 to 90 range, 120 range, I do think there are a lot of people that would say, okay, I still am not thrilled with this, but that's a lot more in line with what other comparably sized teams or teams in comparably sized markets are spending. And I think that would make people a lot more reasonable or more baseball oriented with most of their critiques.
And I think the problem with the Pirates mindset right now is they want fans to show up first and then they'll spend the money instead of, paying the money out, hoping that fans will show up. I think they have it reversed. I mean, if you build it, they'll come, right? And they haven't built it yet. They're just hoping fans will come first. I don't think that's the right philosophy.
I don't really think, that's asking a lot. It's just the bottom line for me. And it has to be the reverse. It has to be the inverse of that relationship. You build it, you put the faith out there, you put your neck on the line. The fans reward you when you start to build it and see it start to come to fruition by showing up and allowing you to build it more. That's how it should work, at least.
Well, the saying, you got to spend money to make money, and they're not spending money, so it's going to be hard to make money. Ryan just tweeted us. He said, should the Steelers claim Malachi Corley off the Browns practice squad? If they do that, I'd have to put him on the active roster for, 4 games?
No, they shouldn't, because I think the guy is, everyone wants him to be Deebo Samuel. He's just probably not going to be Deebo Samuel ever. So, no, I would not do that.
Are you surprised that they didn't get Scantling? Or do you think his offer wasn't as good as...
A little bit. I think that I think the easiest answer here is they don't think they need 2 big-time wide receivers in Arthur Smith's offense, and they better hope that they're right.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Hopefully I see you guys on KDK News right now.